updates with regard to the funeral of the late president. So News Diggers carries this headline to say Hakainde Hichilema cannot be sidelined at Lungu's funeral, says KBF. So that's a statement. As you may be aware, it's been a conversation amongst the requests that the family of the late president had put across was that the current sitting president, President Hakainde Hichilema, shouldn't be anywhere near Edgar Shakalungu's late body. So that was one of the things that caused that standoff. And since then, they've been advised and they've come to a conclusion. And I'll update you on the agreements that have been reached, because that was one thing that they had requested to say they didn't want to see President Hakainde Hichilema near ECL's body. But as of that conversation, they've been advised and a compromise had been reached and an agreement has come across. So President Hakainde Hichilema has extended the mourning period by 9 days to the 23rd of June 2025. State Council update there. So just like they updated the nation in the previous broadcast, the mourning period has been extended, so which brings it to a total of 16 official mourning days, because previously it was 7 and then another 9 has been added. So the body is going to be buried on the 23rd of this month, 2025. And this was a team in South Africa earlier on. Mao Sampa goes to, he says, it is called a win-win, and from the outcome, and kudos to the people that were more involved, and then that President Hakainde Hichilema has agreed to respect the wishes of the family. That's leadership, according to Mao Sampa there. And then the body of the late former President Edgar Lungu will arrive in the country on the 18th of June 2025, while the burial will take place on the 23rd of June 2025. That's according to the Ministry of Information. So just like it was updated yesterday by by Emmanuel Mwamba, those are the same dates that are reflecting from that press brief. So these are some of the images from the press brief from the Patriotic Front posts from right to left. Enoch Kapindele, Secretary to the Cabinet Patrick Kangwa, and President Edgar Shagalungu's family spokesperson Makebi Zulu, and Richard Musukwa, after the end of the joint press briefing in South Africa, at Sun South Africa Hotel in Sandton, South Africa, Sunday the 15th June 2025. So those are the images from this press brief that was highlighted. And these are the takeaways that you should take note of. So according to the Ministry of Information and Media, government has extended the national mourning period by 9 days. So here are the highlights from the joint press briefing held by the Secretary to the Cabinet, Patrick Kangwa, and the Lungu family representative, Makebi Zulu in South Africa. So remarks by Secretary to the Cabinet, Patrick Kangwa. So here are some of the highlights. Government has extended the national mourning period by 9 days in honor of the late 60th Zambian President Edgar Lungu. And then President Hakainde Hichilema will preside over the state funeral on the 22nd June 2025 at Lusaka's Mungushi International Conference Center. So as you've heard, the president is going to preside over that. It's that's where the dignitaries and the foreign heads of state are likely to be in attendance. And then the 9-day extension starts for today until 23rd of June. Meanwhile, Secretary to the Cabinet has observed that government of the Republic of Zambia officially granted passage for the late 60th President Edgar Lungu to go to South Africa for treatment. So that was another thing to say. They never blocked the late president. Actually, they were aware of that, of him going to South Africa. And then the official doctor of the late president, Professor Jonathan Njovu, officially notified government through his office about the need for president to seek medical attention in South Africa. Government, through the secretary to the cabinet, offered support in accordance with the law. So government had offered probably to pay for the bills. And then, however, Professor Jonathan Njovu wrote a second letter to the secretary to the cabinet indicating that government was merely being informed, adding that support from the government was not needed. So that was the feedback that they got from government. And then President Edgar Lungu was President Edgar Lungu proceeded to South Africa, and no officer was instructed to stop him from traveling for treatment. So that was the feedback from government. So they didn't block Edgar Lungu. They were actually aware of his movements. And then Mr. Kanga noted that government made further effort to support President Lungu while he was in South Africa, but all efforts were frustrated. That's another point he raised. And then remarks by Lungu family representative Magebi Zulu. Zambians will be accorded the opportunity to pay their last respects to former President Edgar Lungu. The body will lie in state at Mulungushi Conference Center from the 19th to the 21st of June 2025. So those are the highlights from the press brief. But people are just commending the way Secretary to the Cabinet handled this issue. So some of the comments are like, I now understand why this role needs someone, some good working experience, Secretary to the Cabinet. And then say, as things stand, it's 10-year experience that is required for you to occupy that office. So, and then Mumbi was like, then your Constitution Amendment Bill 7 proposing that we reduce the road to 5 years. So that's the conversation about the proposed bill. But pretty much people are just commending the Secretary to the Cabinet the way he handled the situation there as the representative from government. And then those are highlights from the press brief. Obviously, the UPND also highlights some of the key takeaways. So repatriation, same dates, public viewing. So this is another thing that the public should take note. The body will lie in state at Mulungushi International Conference Center from 19th to the 21st, and public viewing will be from 9 hours to 16 hours daily. So between the 19th and the 21st, if you intend to go and pay your last respects as the general public, those are the days to go to Mulungushi, and that's the time. It will be at 9 hours to 16 hours. And another thing is that it's not going to do a country tour as requested. In fact, they requested 2 locations. Copper Belt, that's the Lungu family. They requested the Copper Belt and also Petauke. But those, according to what they've agreed on, that hasn't been accepted as things stand. And these are part of the people that were part of the negotiating team on the other side that were not sitting on the high table there. So you can see the former national coordinator for disaster management unit on the far right there. And according to the UPNDSM, I was told by his personal physician that the information was only for my ears and not for government intervention, Patrick Kangwa. So pretty much highlighting those points from that interaction. But one of the things that was agreed on was also the people that are going to speak during this funeral. Both government and the Lungu family have decided who's going to be given the platform to speak. And according to what has been communicated, Gideon Winda is one of those people that has been given the opportunity. So according to the UPND report there. So Gideon Winda to speak on behalf of Patriotic Front at the funeral service to be held at Lusaka Showgrounds. So it's going to be given when they're speaking on part of the Patriotic Front. And according to the Patriotic Front, they post that these are the last images of the late president as he left for South Africa. So they captioned to say, the day he left Chifwema residence for South Africa, a place he loved and made simple and unique. So that's according to the Patriotic Front. Those are the last images in Zambia of the late president before he flew out to South Africa for his medical checkup, where he couldn't return alive at least. And then the UPND asks, okay, sorry, but I want to ask, Mwandi, and then why should the physician and that's a bodyguard accompany the body of every day until burial? What are we expecting? So pretty much asking the question to say, because one of the requests that the Lungu family put across was that a designated family member is going to be accompanying the body as it moves around, and also when the public goes to view it at Mulungushi Conference Center That's on the 19th to the 21st. And then the question to ask is, what's the use of those people there? Pretty much, and then the Patriotic Front responds to that. Images from Edgar Lungu's, and then the UPNSM, the drop of court cases and investigation against Lungu family members and their associates was never part of the conditions during the negotiation. So Makebi Zulu also put that across the point to say, because earlier on some news circulation started making rounds to say one of the demands that was coming from the family was that they were asking that some of the court cases be dropped. To which Makebi Zulu responded to say that wasn't part of the conversation, neither did it ever come up. So he was just retaliating that point. And then Bishop Joshua Banda was part of the delegation. I'll show you the full picture of the people that were part of the negotiation team there at the end of this broadcast. But those are the images of the late president. Last images, at least in Zambia, alive, according to what was posted by the Patriotic Front before he flew out. And then former President Edgar Lungu's body will lie in state at Hichilema residence in Lusaka. So where those pictures were taken, that's where his body will be. And these are images coming from the Patriotic Front, because the Patriotic Front had announced to say they will do a 7-day, at the Secretariat, they will do a 7-day national mourning. I mean, at least for their party, not national mourning. But it seems like based on the extension that has been granted by government, they decided to also extend their meeting at the Patriotic Front Secretariat there. And then given windows, meeting some of the choir members doing the same. And then Simon asked a question to Simon. Once I left a video recording of the last will, we saw and heard his voice. Manje Makebi is just claiming that Edgar Shagalungu said this and that, knowing full well that the dead cannot speak. This funeral will be marred by confusion, and the confusion won't stop until Edgar Shagalungu is laid to rest. This is a strategy that the Patriotic Front is banking on for political mileage. But the Zambian people have seen Makebi's plan, and those plans won't stand the test of time. Hakainde Hichilema is a reasonable man, but you are always trying to take advantage of his benevolence. That's according to Simon Moa's feedback there with regard to what has been happening here. So that's from the PF Secretariat. So it seems like they've extended their mourning period also, based off the announcement by government that 9 more days. And what else? Simon doubles down. He says, when you come to Lusaka for a funeral, behave. Otherwise, you need 2 working sureties. Here, we don't play. So pretty much like offering his advice to the people coming from the cover belt, because as things stand, the body will not go out of Lusaka. Once it lands in Lusaka, it's Mulungushi Conference Center. So if you intend to come and view the body, you have to travel from wherever you are and go to Mulungushi Conference Center. That is between the 19th to the 21st. And then these are activities going on at the PF Secretariat, where they've extended their mourning period as well. And then Mao Sampa says, Edgar Shagalungu, as president, allowed Kenneth Kaunda's body to all 10 provinces for viewing. Why has the family requested? Why has the family requested to take Edgar Shagalungu's body to Petauke and Kitwe, his village, and childhood district? Childhood district are being denied. So he asked the question to say there, why didn't the state allow the body to be taken to those 2 places? At this point, an agreement has been reached. The nitty-gritties are not necessarily back and forth. But anyway, you expect, these are politics. You expect that. Those are images from the Patriotic Front. Once Chufetayari says, I can assure you, Zambians, you will enjoy my leadership. Even press briefings will be coming on time. So Chufetayari insists that he's going to be president of some sort. Now the question is that, is he intending to do his campaigns online or whatever? Come and face the law and then deal with issues, because it seems like he's banking on someone that is going to scrap off his court cases that he has and then he can come back home. I don't see that happening. Anyway, he's free to do what he does down his self-imposed exile. What is the Sunday Nation? Says Edgar Shagalungu's remains arrive on Wednesday, pretty much reiterating the same point that was raised. And then this image is been circulating and posted by Smart Eagles. Say once upon a time, I can't remember the event where that's the late president standing there bowing to President Hakainde Hichilema doing this event. So people are just remembering there. They say history, an image. And also, Real Times says Mpezeni now steps in, says passing of Dr. Lungu should never be used to divide the people. That's Mpezeni's feedback earlier on. And this is a team that should be commended for the negotiation. One thing that I like about this is that everyone in this team, and just from what I know, it's all Zambian team. It's good that in as much as the differences can rise in political standing or on something, we can resolve our own issues. I wouldn't have loved it to see a foreign individual being part of the team, honestly. But so I love the way it is. So let me see some of the people that I can recognize. So Minister of Foreign Affairs there, Samulamba Himbe, you see them there. You see Secretary to the Cabinet, Patrick Kangwa, and then Makebi Zulu, and also Bishop Joshua Banda standing there. I'm pretty sure you see the rest. So that was the team that negotiated the terms of reference, and the agreement has since stand. So those are the dates. And then if you intend to go and view the late president body, it's on the 19th to the 21st at Mungush Conference Center from 9 hours to 16 hours between those times, whether you're coming from Livingstone, Western Province, Northern Province, Southern Province, Eastern Province. It's only going to be in Lusaka at least, based on what has been agreed between government and the family. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen.